Moore,
Here.
O'Kane,
Here.
Shaner,
Here.
Scott,
Here.
Waters.
We stand for a moment of silent prayer followed by the Pledge of Allegiance, please.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Interview for your Arts Center Board of Trustees, Adam Wheelock. Adam, come on up and tell us a little bit about why you want to serve.
Good afternoon, Council. My name is Adam Wheelock. I was invited to serve by a member of the Arts Center. I guess they recognized that I have something to offer for them. I have a professional degree in architecture and work as a professional architect, so hopefully those services can be lent to the Art Center as a whole, or to the board at least. I have an interest in the facility overall. My children attend the classes regularly. We visit often, and so it's definitely a part of Sioux City that we're very proud of. Any questions?
Todd have big plans for more expansion at the Arts Center. Todd, you?
There have been nothing mentioned to me, no.
Okay.
I think you'd be a good member. You were, it says in here, it reminded me that you were on the Environmental Advisory Committee.
I served on that previously, yes.
And if I recall, you served very well, so thank you for your public service as well.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
You bet.
We'll go to the consent agenda, which is items 3 through 15, I or L, I can't tell what. It's L, I think. Is the consent agenda. You can consider these items passed unanimously unless the roll call vote is asked for by a council member. If you want to speak on an agenda item, please come up as I read that item. If you want to speak on item not on the agenda, please come up under citizen concerns at the end of the meeting. I'll move the consent agenda.
Second.
3 is a reading of the July 3rd and 24th City Council minutes. 4 is a resolution adopting the 2025 second quarter supplement to the municipal code. 5 is a resolution temporarily closing a section of Leach Avenue on September 6th for the Miles Inn 100th year celebration. 6 is a resolution scheduling a hearing on a proposed civil penalty of $300 against R Smoke Plus for violation of the Iowa cigarette laws. 7 are actions relating to boards and commissions. A is a motion appointing Reagan Cody to the Events, Facilities, and Tourism Advisory Board. Upon due consideration of the circumstances, the City Council waives the policy that no person shall serve on more than one board or commission. B is a motion reappointing Mike Skaggs to the Event, Facilities, and Tourism Advisory Board. C is a motion appointing and reappointing Larry Law to the Human Rights Commission. D is a motion reappointing Jessica Board to the Library Board of Trustees. E is a motion reappointing James Wharton to the Library Board of Trustees. F is a motion appointing Travis Lee to the Parking and Skywalk System Board of Trustees. G is a motion reappointing Angela Drent to the Transit System Advisory Board. Upon due consideration of the circumstances, the City Council waives the policy that no person shall serve on more than one board or commission. 8 are actions relating to grants. A is a resolution approving a contract with the Iowa Economic Development Authority for the 2020 Community Block Grant Coronavirus Aid Relief and Economic Acts Funds. B is a resolution authorizing a filing of a dual grant applications through the Federal Transit Administration for the FY 2025 Low or No Emission Grant Program and the Buses and Buses Facility Competitive Program Grant. C is a resolution approving the 5-year consolidated plan and strategy 2025 to 29 for the Sioux City Consortium in conjunction with the Community Development Block Grant Program and the Home Program. D is a resolution approving the 2025 annual action plan for the Sioux City Consortium in the conjunction with the Community Development Grant Program and the Home Investment Partnership Program. 9 are relating to agreements and contracts. A is a resolution approving a consulting services agreement with the American Bar Association for the Homeless Court Technical Assistance Project. B is a resolution approving a sidewalk construction and maintenance agreement and easement with BNSF Railway for the Plywood Trail Phase 3 project. C is a resolution authorizing a grade crossing construction and maintenance agreement and easement with the BNSF Railway for the Floyd Riverfront and Plywood Trail Connection Project. D is a resolution awarding a service provider agreement to Thompson Solutions for the Police Training Center Millennium Door Software Project. Need to abstain, conflict of interest. E is a resolution approving amendment number 1 to the consulting services agreement with SCS Engineers for the 28th Street landfill post-closure monitoring and regulatory assistance. F is a resolution approving a renewal option 1 to the consulting services agreement with SCS Engineers for services associated with the 28th Street landfill post-closure monitoring and regulatory assistance. G is a resolution approving a consulting services agreement with Gallagher Benefit Services for benefit consulting and/or brokerage services. H is a resolution consenting to the Iowa Finance Authority's land use restriction agreement by authorizing an acknowledgement of covenants in connection with the Home Investment Partnership funds for the Asher Apartments at 1300 West 3rd Street.
Mayor, I need to abstain, conflict of interest on that item.
I is a resolution approving a post-construction stormwater management plan maintenance agreement and easement with Hope Moose for a detention basin and accepting a permanent easement therewith property at 3655 Correctionville Road. 10 are actions relating to personnel. A is a motion accepting the annual review of the Art Center Director of Sioux City's Art Center's Board of Trustees. B is a resolution suspending the requirements of Section 40.111A of the Iowa Code for hiring employees for the wastewater treatment plant and environmental services department for a period of 1 year.
Mayor, just a comment. Tom, we did that last year as well, didn't we? Suspend it? Okay. Is this the second year we're doing that then? Okay, thank you. It's the second year we're suspending the requirements. Okay.
C is a resolution approving amendment number 2 to the contract with ASCME Iowa Council 61 Local 212 Field Services and Operation Unit, Technical and Clerical Unit, and the Sioux City Airport Unit. D is a resolution amendment number 2 to the contract with the ASCME Iowa Council 61 Local 2796 PATS and EMS employees. 11 are actions authorizing payments. A is a resolution authorizing payment to SGH Red Glaze for the Convention Center call wall panel replacement project. B is a resolution authorizing payment to the Guarantee Roofing for the MLK Transportation Center roof replacement project. C is a resolution approving a partial settlement of a tort claim and authorizing payments. 12 are purchasing. A is a resolution awarding purchase order to Hoagland Bus for 2 buses for the transit system. B is a resolution awarding a purchase order to HiChem for coagulate for the water treatment plant. 13 are applications for cigarette, tobacco, nicotine, vapor product permits. 14 are applications for alcohol license, and 15 are boards, commission, and committee minutes. Anyone to be heard on any of those items? Passes 4-0. 16 is a motion appointing 2 of the following 3 applicants to the Airport Board of Trustees. Applicants Paul Baker, Tyler Cruz, and Scott Flambeck. I'll entertain a motion.
I'd like to move that we accept Paul Baker and Scott Plembeck.
Is there a second? Passes 4-0. Recommendations of planning and zoning. 17 is a motion acknowledging the Board of Adjustment actions of June 24th, I'll move that.
Second.
You gonna put it up or you gonna call it?
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
You have something to add?
I don't, it was a pretty easy one.
You have to
this
close the hearing.
Guys, so unless you guys have any questions.
It's just a motion. I'm doing, hang on,
Oh, are you 17?
I'm on 17, there's no,
I'm sorry, I was on 18.
okay, well, you're always a little bit ahead. Okay, now we'll go.
Sorry, Rick.
Yeah,
Just a minute, we gotta have this.
sorry.
Passes 4-0. Now 18 is a hearing and ordinance rezoning 3501 West 32nd Street. The Planning and Zoning Commission recommends approval of this item. I'll move it.
Second.
The public hearing's now open. Go ahead.
Andrew Gleiser, Chair of the Planning and Zoning Commission. Nothing too exciting with this one, just somebody looking to rezone their property.
Okay. Anyone to be heard?
Questions?
No one to be heard? Okay. The hearing's closed. Call the roll.
O'Kane.
Aye.
Shaner.
Aye.
Scott.
Aye.
Moore.
Aye.
Passes 4-0. Anybody opposed to waiving the statutory rule?
No.
No.
I'll move that.
Second.
Shaner.
Aye.
Scott.
Aye.
Moore.
Aye.
O'Kane.
Aye.
I'll move second, third.
Second.
Scott.
Aye.
Moore.
Aye.
O'Kane.
Aye.
Shaner.
19 is a resolution approving the final plat of Hanson addition. The petitioner, Richard and Cheryl Hanson. The Planning and Zoning Commission recommends approval of this item. I'll move that.
Second.
Yeah.
You can vote electronically. I think that one, last one was just not working, right?
Passes 4-0. 20 is a hearing and resolution approving plans and specs for the, thanks, Andrew, Riverside Boulevard and Hornick Avenue sanitary sewer repair project. I'll move that.
Second.
Public hearing is now open. Anyone to be heard? Seeing none, the hearing is closed. It's 4-0. 21 is a hearing and resolution approving plans and specs for the Discovery Parking Ramp AHU replacement project. I'll move that.
Second.
Public hearing is now open. Anyone to be heard? Seeing none, the hearing is closed. Passes 4-0. 22 is a hearing and resolution approving plans and specs for the Discovery Parking Ramp Repair Project 2025. I'll move that.
Second.
Public hearing is now open. Anyone to be heard? Seeing none, the hearing is closed. Passes 4-0. 23 is a hearing and resolution approving plans and specs for the 4th Street and Jackson Street Skywalk Upgrade Project. I'll move that.
Second.
Public hearing is now open. Anyone to be heard? Hearing is closed. Passes 4-0. 24 is a hearing and resolution accepting the proposal of Tri-State Real Estate Development for property at 615 Douglas Street, 625 Douglas Street, and the vacated portion of the adjacent alley in the combined central Sioux City CBD urban renewal area, and directing the negotiation of a development agreement and a minimum assessment agreement. I'll move that.
Second.
Public hearing's now open. Anyone to be heard? Seeing none, the hearing is closed. Four zero. 25 is a hearing and resolution approving the proposal to sell property on West 4th Street adjacent to 2426 West 4th Street and authorizing a city deed. The petitioner is Tina Berman. I'll move that.
Second.
Public hearing's now open. Anyone to be heard? Seeing none, the hearing is closed. Passes 4-0. 26 is a hearing and resolution approving the proposal to sell property on Shore Drive adjacent to 1741.5 Nash Street and authorizing a city deed. Petitioners Melissa Warren. I'll move that.
Second.
Public hearing is now open. Anyone to be heard? Seeing none, the hearing is closed. Did it come up and I missed it?
No, they just voted. It's up now.
Pass 4-0. 27 is a hearing and resolution approving a proposal to sell property known as 3001 Pierce Street, authorizing a purchase agreement. The petitioner is Deanna Cloud. I'll move that.
Second.
Public hearing is now open. Anyone to be heard? Seeing none, the hearing is closed. Passes 4-0. Citizen concerns. Any citizen, please come forward. Be sure and state your name.
Good afternoon. My name is John Oldroyd. I own a property on Glen Ellen Road in the Whispering Creek subdistrict. I'm speaking today both with concerns as an individual homeowner and on behalf of multiple neighbors who are experiencing similar issues. Water's running down the hill underneath Glen Ellen Road. It's undermining sidewalks, it's undermining the street, it's undermining homeowners' properties, and it's causing multiple issues for homeowners. Regarding my own property, I bought the home in July 2017, at which time it had already been constructed, including the sidewalk. In 2022, the city excavated my sidewalk, stating it had not been installed to code. The only reason I have for why a sidewalk was approved not being installed to code was that this was a miss. During the excavation of the sidewalk, it was noted that there was erosion under the sidewalk. This was repaired at my expense using flow jacking. Since that time, every time it rains significantly, I get a waterfall of muddy water from a point in my yard washing across the sidewalk. This is inconvenient at best. It's undermining my yard and the sidewalk, and is also causing a safety issue. Water is gushing out from underneath the street at multiple points as well. I am very happy to share photos and videos of these events, should you so desire. In talking to neighbors in the area, similar issues are occurring all the way down the hill. The city has carried out 2 studies in the area in the last 10 years. The root cause would appear to be poor soil compaction, primarily due to utility trenches. The city also suggests that individual homeowners need to keep paying significant money for what are band-aid solutions at best. I've already paid over $10,000 in flow jacking, and I'm currently looking at over $12,000 to install drainage ditches across my property to try and alleviate just my specific issue. The issue is widespread, and sooner or later the street will fail. The latest report from the city suggests that a holistic approach is needed to solve the problem. This holistic approach needs input from homeowners, the city, and utility companies. Today, I'm asking for the city's help in assigning an engineer to this issue so that a full root cause analysis can be completed and a permanent solution can be identified and implemented. Thank you.
Gordon, why don't you come tell us? Well, go ahead. Go ahead. You're good.
Good afternoon. My name is Jerry Van Person. I live at 3421 Glen Ellen Road. and I'm here to discuss further erosion issues on our street, parking, and sidewalk areas in front of our home. This particular issue was first noticed on July 3rd of '24 when some sod began sinking along my sidewalk. When I removed the loose sod, I discovered a void under the sidewalk as well. Also, parts of the sidewalk were raised and some were sinking at the seams. The city came and marked the sidewalks as unsafe and needing repair. The erosion continued, and by August it worsened and more sod fell into the hole, making it easier to see. The void now extended at least 12 feet in length under my sidewalk, 6 feet deep. The void followed a path that exposed utility lines that had been bored through and under my sidewalk and driveway. I reported the issue to the city and had visits from Bob Scott several times, also Julie and Alex from the council. Also Gordon Fair, Patrick Simmons, Ron Engel, and more came to look. The erosion has now extended under the street, in some areas more than 8 feet deep and 18 feet long, and more than 8 feet wide. That's approximate because that's as far as I can reach, and Bob Scott was a testimony to that. He saw it happen. There were also problems with erosion and sidewalk sinking north of my home on Glen Ellen. Not as severe as in front of my home, but all the way to the top of the hill at Cocapelli Street. After some study, and I'm not sure how much, Gordon said that none of this was a city problem, that the homeowners are responsible for repairs, but the city would address the street void issues. They did this by putting sand and water into the holes along the curb, and the crew spent a whole day doing this, apparently told by their supervisors that doing this would fill the street voids. A truckload of sand will never fill a void the size that was under the street. That was in September. A different crew was back out there in June to redo that job because of more erosion. Just as a side note, when the crew was there, they also took the cover off of the MetroNet cover that was in my yard. And there was a 3-foot deep hole under the box that MetroNet never even bothered to fill when they installed stuff a year ago. The city crew filled that hole as well. I was also told by them that the void is now so wide that over half of the street width is now voided. The crew was there for 2 days and back again the following week for more filling. They said that they know this will never fix the issue, but they also reported their findings and opinions to their supervisor, but yet Brad Baldwin keeps writing surface orders to fill it again and again and again. What a waste of taxpayer money. This will be a street collapse someday, and I only hope that nobody gets killed. Per Gordon's emails, his findings and thoughts were that 3 things were responsible for all of these issues. The low soils do not compact well, leading toward erosion. Now, all articles that I've checked says you're supposed to take the top 18 to 24 inches off of that soil before you build or do anything with streets or sidewalks. Don't know whether that was done because I didn't have anything to do with it, but it doesn't appear to be. The second thing that I was told was that the homeowners' sprinkler systems have leaks. So every home has a bad sprinkler system? I doubt it. I've had my sprinkler system checked out every year by a professional sprinkler installation and repair company. Never had a problem. The third thing was that the homeowners had misplaced downspout and gutter systems. All of the homeowners have the same problem. Again, I say the same things. Again, that's not possible that everybody has the same problem. And again, if that is an issue, and there's supposed to be different things taking place on driveways and that kind of thing where water is coming out of the downspouts, then there should be a city code to it. And if there is, then how were all those homes passed through a city inspection? Don't know. Given these reasons and excuses, I can only ask one question and make one statement. 90% of all of these issues happen only on the west side of the street. So you're telling us that these issues and causes impossible for me to believe. I cannot believe that engineering would think that. Everybody on the east side of the street is fine. The west side of the street has got erosion all the way up and down, from the top of the hill past my house. Anything we do here is going to be a Band-Aid fix and will need to be repeated again someday soon. I do not understand the city reluctance to repair the issues, since the city has already repaired at their expense sidewalks and parking areas and streets for Brian McCloy and several others on Whispering Creek Drive over the last few years when they had similar erosion issues. I'm not an engineer, and I do not know for sure where the problem is or where it starts. I only know that water always runs downhill and it finds the path of least resistance. I can only assume that there is a water main leak or a storm sewer leak somewhere up the hill toward Cocopelli Street. That and the fact that Mid-American and Sparklight Fiber and Metronet all bored underground and unbelievably under sidewalks and driveways. That is part of the issue, allowing water from the above to follow a channel left by boring and it not packing the soil around it, which is impossible to do under a sidewalk or a driveway. I'm working on a fix for my voids under my sidewalk and driveway, and I hope to have it completed soon. It will be a much better fix than sand and water. I encourage the city to look at my solutions as well for all of the problems. I expect to hear a response from the city within 2 weeks. All city personnel know how to get in touch with us. We've all been on emails for a year. My last step will, I guess, have to be to take it to the local news media. Whatever and wherever the problem is, it must be identified and repaired at city and utility company expense as soon as possible. Thank you.
Anyone else be heard? Okay, for council concerns?
Well, are we going to have
Gordon, yeah, I'd like to hear.
Well, I don't know that we're going to accomplish anything.
No,
Go
it'd
ahead.
be nice to know what have we done to try and rectify the situation? When I hear undermining, that's extremely scary to me because this last emergency deal that we had was all due to undermining. And so it seems to me like that could become a very bad situation very quickly if it's something that's not addressed. So are we packing with sand? Is that what we're doing in that area?
Gordon Fair, city engineer. Yes, that's what maintenance is doing at this time.
How many times have we done that?
Like you said, multiple times. We'll have to do it multiple times until, in this situation where it's on a hill, it's a lot of lost soils, the undermining has started, and we feel it'll continue along with anytime we have
Where does
any
it
of these.
seem to be now?
Sorry, say it.
Middle of the hill, top of the hill, the void?
About the middle.
Why don't you pull a couple panels out and see what you got there? What's that?
But we can if you'd like, yes.
Well, it seems like that would be a place to start, so you could actually see how big the void actually is.
We did the ground penetrating radar with that study we had last fall.
Yes, I did want you to bring that up, that we hired somebody to use that radar and to look for voids and to look for a problem. You know, what could it be? And it was not a singular problem in their opinion,
That's
right?
correct.
Can
That
we
is
talk
correct.
about that a little bit?
Yeah, there's, we've had, over the past 10 years, we've had 2 reports done. One from CTS and one from CEC, engineering. Anyway, both virtually said the same thing. It's multiple, bad compaction, you got less soils, you got sprinklers, anything, even varmints, such as moles and gophers, things like that. Once they start opening a hole and water gets into it, it's hard to stop. You got to patch them as soon as you see them up on the uphill side, because once the water enters, then it continues on. So, city is going through with maintenance, going through the areas, filling in the voids, sealing concrete. That is.
Have we already, I think Patrick has already answered this. We've already verified that we don't have a storm leak, we don't have a water.
That wouldn't be Patrick, that would be underground utilities, but yes, we did, and we have found certain ones, yes, we did find one, and that's going to be. Yeah, and we've gone through, and we're going through and maintaining, will be, all of the intakes too as well, as part of the regular maintenance.
But we are doing something. We're not doing
yes.
nothing.
Correct.
Okay, I just want to confirm that, but I would agree with the mayor. Maybe it's time to cut that street open and get a panel out
Yep.
there and take a look and see what we've got.
Sure, we can do that.
At least if you take a couple panels out, you don't have to take them both the same. You can go up the hill and you can go middle hill and see what you got. I think you ought to do that. But I'm not an engineer, so, but I think we ought to try that at least. All right. Okay, anyone else be heard?
Good afternoon. Can I get a rundown of exactly what transpired over the weekend, starting from Friday, I guess, and who got contacted? And I mean, I do an email, but I mean,
You need your name.
State your name.
Paul Koskovich. All right, I spoke with, obviously, I sent a text out yesterday afternoon to Julie and Bob, only 2 people, so we don't get in trouble. Brad, I don't have Gordon's number, but I'd just like a rundown of what went on here.
You want us to give you one, or?
Yes, please. I
I don't know.
because I heard so much that I don't know what to believe.
Well, my understanding, I just talked to Daryl on another matter today, and he told me that he had given you permission to do that because you weren't actually demolishing in the area of the storm or sand, I don't know what it is, sewer line. And Brad and those guys didn't understand that, is what I heard, but I don't, that's
They were not informed that Daryl gave them the go-ahead.
right.
So, appreciate it. Apparently, Gordon showed up to the job site yesterday and told our men to stop. Kelly, my partner, called me. I said, no, we have a permission from Gordon. Or not Gordon, Daryl, as of Friday at 3:30. And Gordon proceeds to call the police department. I was also mentioned, I don't know by Gordon or Brad, that the city attorney was consulted. Was that true?
I was informed yesterday, I believe, just that there had been a shutdown of the site, but that is all that I'm aware of.
Okay, so Gordon or Brad, one of the two, or possibly both, did say that the city attorney said the job site needed to stop. Is that not true?
No, I have not been involved in this, Paul.
Who directed Gordon to call the police department?
Gordon Fair, city engineer, that would have been Brad Pitts, utilities director, and it was the police department that had talked to our legal.
Who?
Which is
They said
Nicole,
that-
correct? And if
There are 4 assistant city attorneys. I have not been made
Oh,
aware that there was
I
anyone
didn't
that
know
was
that you and I
consulted.
just said legal.
But I can find that out. I'm just not aware that anyone had spoke with staff. But it could have happened, I just don't know.
For the record, they should have stopped excavating in that area because we did have a sanitary line that was right next to where the excavation was going.
I don't necessarily disagree, but it's not very good communication when Daryl says something. I mean, we got to do a better job of communicating.
Daryl pulled up the imaging on Friday, and that's why he gave us the go-ahead, because Daryl knew what was going on in the project, knew where we were working, and knew where that line was, and knew that we were not even coming anywhere close to this line. Why on earth, when I say Daryl gave us permission on Friday to proceed, do you not pick up the phone and call Daryl and verify this with one of your coworkers? Instead, you proceed to call the police department.
Question?
What's that?
That's a good question.
Okay, well,
It
Listen,
still shouldn't have been, there shouldn't have been no excavating in there at all until, even if Daryl did give him permission, and he was instructed not to. because of the sanitary line that was in there that serviced, well, Correctionville area.
Gordon, it's nowhere near where we were working, man.
Right at the end of that
And again,
section. And they were excavating, they
Daryl
were taking away the
Bullock
foundation.
gave us approval. Well, actually, it started what? Here's how it started. Friday, Joel stops down and says, I believe, I shouldn't say this. I believe he said, Gordon said you have to have a permit, which is a bunch of BS, okay? So I raced down here before 4 o'clock to get this permit that's not even needed. And Daryl's there and says, Paul, you're good to go. You do not need a permit. Proceed with caution. Have a good weekend. Here we are, it's Sunday. We've got equipment on rent, and old Gordo shows up and shuts the job site down. And here we are, it's Monday morning, Brad shows up, comes to the job site, sees, yep, there's no problem here, proceed. And I mean, great. He said, you know what, we should have communicated better with you guys, sorry. But it doesn't, I mean, it's just.
I don't have a good explanation. I know you want one. I don't have one, Paul. I don't have an explanation.
Okay, I appreciate that. Where I'm getting at is I'm asking that your team gets some of these city staff people on a leash and off our tails. There is some really good people that work here, and there's some really bad people that are trying to get Ben and I. I mean, they just salivate at it. They love sticking it to us. That's fine. I mean, I'm a prick. That's fine. But man, we work hard. We put a lot of money on the tax roll. We keep investing in this town, and why? To put up with BS like that yesterday? I mean, it's maddening. I mean, it's been weeks for us to even get a building permit to start Sioux City Tarp. And now we're told, okay, you can do footings and foundations, but that's it for now. I mean, we're using Nelson Engineering. I mean, they're building a monster 100,000 square foot building right now for us in North Sioux. I mean, they rave about how easy it is over there, or how easy it is in South Sioux, but not in Sioux City. The Sioux City Tarp building's a 30,000 square foot building. It's peanuts compared to what the North Sioux building is. And the scrutiny that this project goes through versus that is beyond night and day. Julie did mention we're getting new blue beam for design for hopefully that
We
speeds
have
up
it.
Henry's
We're getting-
process.
Yep, we have it. We're
Appreciate that. But I mean, what do we have to do here? Why do we keep getting punished? Ben and I, we keep getting punished on every project we do. It's so hard. It's so hard. Why?
It shouldn't be. We, as I said to you in the text that I sent you, we got to sit down, reestablish lines of communication, understand what goals are, what needs to be done to work together, and get past this. We just have to do better. And I'm talking about the city, and I'm also talking about your team. Transparency, what are you working on? What are you doing? Same thing for us. This is what you need to do. And I want us to get better. I really do. And you have my word. I'm working on it. Mike's working on it. We're putting a plan of action together to get better.
I appreciate that. Can you put at the top, very top of the list?
I can sure try.
Getting the Sioux City Tarp building approved so it can go vertical?
Sioux City what?
Sioux City Tarp.
Project, the expansion.
We're building a 30,000 square foot building right next to Consumer Supply down on Boulevard of Champions. And the plans have been in this building for quite a while. And we have a team that wants to start. They're extremely credible, and we can't start. It's a nightmare.
I will follow up on that personally tomorrow morning and see where we're at, status.
I went to a DRC meeting 3 months ago, and that was the topic, so I can't imagine what's going on there. All right.
Please, please, please get some of these employees under control. We are targeted.
Thank you. Anyone else? Mr. O'Kane.
Had a great weekend. I definitely want to call out, I did not, outside of the hours where we're allowed to discharge fireworks, on the west side, I think there were twice that I heard fireworks go out. So that was a big improvement from last year. That was my experience. I live in the Crescent Park neighborhood. So I was really happy personally with that. It is unfortunate that the state passed a law changing the hours right after we mailed out notice to everybody. But hopefully it'll stay pretty consistent going forward as long as the 4th doesn't fall on a Friday again, because that throws everything off. Having the parade down at the riverfront, I really enjoyed that. I thought that was an interesting way to utilize the riverfront, and we haven't done that in a number of years. When I was growing up, that's where the parade always was, and so it was kind of like going home. So that was a ton of fun. Saturday in the park was packed, and it was very enjoyable. I got to see some really great acts. I don't want to call anybody out specifically, but Joey Cool was in Sioux City, and I think that's pretty awesome. That went well. This week, looking forward, we've got a big Wednesday. We've got our joint EAB meeting, and then the NAACP is hosting their meet and greet event this week as well on Wednesday. And that's everything.
I don't have anything today.
A couple of things I have. I attended the Simcoe's 60th anniversary, and I got to bring home a first place prize for the mayor, and Julie Shaner was there, and it was for Community of the Year, City of Sioux City. And I would drive the mayor crazy, but I would love to just read part of what Simcoe wrote about the City of Sioux City. And they've been in business for 60 years, and they know what they're talking about. You ready?
Yes.
Start the 3 minutes on me. Just for this,
You're not going to read 3 pages worth, but go ahead.
It says, over the past year, Sioux City has made tremendous progress across multiple fronts. The transformation of the Missouri riverfront through the Chris Larson Park redevelopment has created a vibrant public space with event areas, a splash pad, fitness stations, and more, turning a once vacant site into a destination for families and visitors alike. And with the opening of over 10 miles of mountain biking trails at Cone Park, Sioux City has added a new level of outdoor adventure to its growing list of amenities. In housing, Sioux City continues to lead with innovative solutions. The city secured funding from the Iowa Finance Authority to develop a housing project for individuals and families experiencing homelessness. Additional projects like the redevelopment of historic buildings into residential units are helping to expand housing options and revitalize historic spaces. Additionally, the city is seeing new construction across multiple neighborhoods where modern townhomes and single-family homes are helping meet growing demand. On the economic development front, the city has successfully blended historic preservation with modern growth. The restoration of the Warrior Hotel and Davidson Building has boosted tourism, created jobs, and breathing new life into the city's urban core. In transportation, Sioux City and Simcoe recently adopted the 2025 Transportation Safety Action Plan, funded by a federal Safe Streets and Roads for All grant. This plan outlines strategies to reduce roadway fatalities and improve safety for drivers, cyclists, pedestrians, and transit users. The city is also working with Simcoe on the South Lakeport Street Corridor study aimed at reducing congestion and enhancing mobility and safety along one of the city's busiest corridors. But what truly sets Sioux City apart is its commitment to collaboration. The city has worked closely with Simcoe on a number of initiatives, leveraging regional planning, transportation coordination, and development support to bring these projects to life. This partnership has helped align local goals with regional strategies and ensuring long-term success and sustainability. So we have a very nice Community of the Year presented to the City of Sioux City, and I want to present that to you, Mayor, and the rest of the council and all of the citizens of Sioux City. I might add, also at the 60th anniversary, and I'm really proud of Angel Wallace. Angel Wallace, our own, was recognized as a recipient of the Community Leaders Award for her exceptional leadership, dedication, and lasting contributions to the Siouxland region. And that was really, really a nice award, very well deserved for Angel. Next was Saturday in the Park. One of my favorites was there too, and I am going to name him, Ralph Dittman. He was the opening act on the main stage. And Ralph Dittman is really, really a great musician. 17 years old, and he knows how to do it. And it was just really wonderful to watch him in action. My last thing, Mayor, and I'm just, you know how easily I get confused? I want to talk about the city manager applicants that we have. And I want to make sure I understand this, because I talked to Mike about it, and Mike, if you can help me a little bit with this, and I'm looking at Janelle's email. Thank you for sending this. You're wanting questions by the end of the week from the mayor and the city council members, questions that we'll have for the 4 applicants that we will be interviewing in a special city council meeting, which means it will be open to the public. And those dates are Thursday, July 24th, and we have our formal interview with the mayor and city council, 1:15 to 2:30, and from 2:30 to 3 o'clock, it's a community question and answer period. And that same afternoon, 3:15 to 4:30 is our formal interview, followed by 4:30 to 5 o'clock, a community Q&A. And then on Friday, July 25th, it'd be the same thing. Applicant, formal interview, 1:15 to 2:30, and then a community Q&A, 2:30 to 3 o'clock, and then a formal interview at 3:15 to 4:30, and community Q&A from 4:30 to 5. So the community Q&A, their questions will go through or be filtered through the recruiter, correct? Janelle or Mike?
Yeah, Janelle can speak to this too, but that's, yes, that's the
As
format.
our questions
But
will
we
be.
need to get that out to the public then, so they can begin.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. We're talking about really 2 days, and the community is really interested in who we are looking at for the next city manager. They really are, and I appreciate that. You know, I've always said, since I've been in council, when the citizens quit caring about what we do, we're in trouble. And there are a lot of citizens that would like to come to not only the formal interview that council and the mayor will do with the applicants, but having question and answers. So what would be the process so the public can get those questions maybe ahead of time to either Mike Collette or to Janelle Bertrand?
Yeah, I think we'll probably put out in social media and on the website on the directions for citizens to be able to do that, or they can submit them that day as well to the recruiter, and he'll look at those and review them, and he'll be the facilitator of asking those questions then.
That's the way you, okay. So that's the way it will read. How about the union panel that we have formed that
Yep.
will also participate? Is that a different time period?
That's a different time period.
That they'll be,
It's in there.
Yep,
or the union panel?
Department heads are in there.
yep.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a full day with department heads, union panel, city tour, and then formal interview process with council and community.
Okay, so as far as the public is concerned and the citizens that are really interested, it would be a 1:15 start time.
1:15 to 5 o'clock roughly.
To 5 o'clock.
Yep.
1:15 to 5 o'clock, that'd be on Thursday, July 24th, and Friday, July 25th.
That's correct.
Okay, yeah, I do want to get the word out, so thank you, Mayor, for letting me just walk through that to make sure I understand, so I'm telling people correctly what's going on here. That's all I have.
We adjourn. I have a grandson playing on the head of All-Stars tonight.
All right.
Going to the game.
Second.
Moore,
Aye?
O'Kane,
Aye.
Shaner,
Aye.
Scott.
Aye.
Good luck, that'll be fun.
Yeah.
Last night.
Do they have to win? Do they have to win tonight, or what?
No, you.
Chris Matt.